I am sure that at one point or another you have gone through life and wondered why no one seems to respect you or even just show you basic human kindness. You're kind to them, so why is it that your supposed friends belittle you and strangers don't even want to look at you? Why is it that you have been treated poorly for so long that you begin to believe that it's normal for people to be treated this way and you begin to perpetuate this cycle on someone else? Why is it always you that's the butt of every joke? Why won't people just love you for you? Why is it that your opinion seems to matter so little to everyone else? Why are you never invited to anything? I could go on forever with these questions, and there's no one answer to these questions. The only answer that I have for you in this video is that your presentation and first impression are a huge contributor as to why people treat you like dirt. I know it's hard to hear, and that we all wish that we could just see each other as human beings, but that is simply not an option. No matter how far we think that we have evolved, we are nothing but apes that love beautiful things that stand with pride and hate things that grovel and look pathetic. We love beautiful people who carry themselves with pride, and even instinctually find ourselves respecting them without them having to do anything that commanded our respect. We will treat someone who walks into our shop with a suit and tie on and a perfect haircut better than the average Joe who saunters in with a hunch and mustard stains on his shirt. We always seem to hate things that are ugly and look unkempt and incohesive. We hate people who grovel at our feet and worship the ground we walk on. We think that we are so far above them that those who grovel lose their humanity in our eyes. We instantly feel like we can lord over someone who doesn't make eye contact, or we feel like we are superior to someone with a weak handshake or someone who walks timidly. Remember that we as human beings are creatures of emotion and instinct over logic. If our emotions decide on something, our logical part of our brain will do everything it can to justify that decision to itself. We mean people who we instantly don't have any respect for, or that we think we are above, and it won't be for any logical reason. Our instincts just tell us that we are superior, and then our logical side of our brain will find any way possible to justify that thought. It isn't, I don't respect this guy because he walks like a bitch and his voice is timid. It's, I don't respect this guy because his grades aren't great, and he asked so and so out and was rejected. When if someone we instinctually respected did those things, we wouldn't think anything of it and simply ignore those flaws and only pay attention to the positives. I don't know where I read it, but I once read that when we meet someone for the first time, our instincts had already decided if we like that person or not within the first 30 seconds of meeting him. How they are dressed, how they speak, how they carry themselves, all are instantly recognized by our brain, and it will decide in that moment whether or not they are equal, above us, or simply some trash that floated by. With that in mind, you have to realize that first impressions matter so much more than what the vast majority of people realize. Some people will really go to an important job interview in a crumpled shirt or something that looks decent but is completely below the position. And some others will go to the interview with a suit on, looking well groomed and walking with a purpose. Who do you think will get the job? Even if the guy who is slightly less well kept actually has a slightly better resume or just a little more technical experience? Obviously, it's going to be the second man because he simply held himself and the position to a higher standard and seems far more competent. I remember the first sales job I got, I was dirt poor. I didn't have any nice clothes for the interview and hadn't had a haircut in a few months. But I already knew to get the job I needed a lot more than just a gift for speaking to people and excellent work ethic. I needed to look like a man worthy of the title. I ended up getting a great haircut and buying an old suit from Goodwill. The suit didn't have any tears or rips and was clean and felt like a great fit on me. I had it dry cleaned and learned as much as I can about the company, from its mission statement to who would most likely be my boss and their accomplishments throughout their career. It was an interview at the GSM's office, and they had us interviewees sitting outside of the office in these little chairs, going in one at a time to explain why they should give us the job and to test us. I remember that in the reply email, it didn't say anything about dress code or what you were expected to already know. So I was expecting to see people all over the spectrum of preparedness, and that is definitely what I saw. I saw some folk who only showed up in a polo and khakis, some wearing a decent knitted sweater, and even though they were few, some who showed up in suits like me. I saw all sorts of body language and dress and could instantly see who was 100% a washout. Some people had horrible sitting posture and were hunching over on their chair. Some others were playing around on their phone instead of being present in the moment and preparing themselves mentally for the interview. Hell, just seeing how someone got up and out of their chair and walking into the GSM's office spoke volumes, to me at least, about the quality of worker they would be. Before my name was even called to go into the office, I already knew that I would get the job simply because I looked better and was willing to do more. I had a great first impression and had a great conversation with the man who would be my boss for months after that, and who later was an excellent reference to move up somewhere else. If I had approached him like the majority of other people there did, I wouldn't have gotten the job since I didn't have any real experience and was young. If I had walked up timidly, giving him a weak handshake and had a quiet voice, if I didn't sit down straight and hold eye contact with him and spoke like equals with the man, he would have thought I was just another young guy blowing smoke up his ass, talking about being willing to do anything for a decent buck, and he would have sent me home. This is just one example of how a first impression can truly make someone feel respect for you and hold you higher than everyone else. I had previously worked a minor sales job and had been working at McDonald's to make ends meet and was driving a shitbox that would turn itself off at stoplights. But he was able to look past all of that and see the potential inside of me by seeing how I carried myself with pride, even though I was objectively much farther below most of the other applicants. I carried myself and dressed far better than some people who were driving brand new cars. First impressions are the most important part in meeting a new person. If you stand up straight, chin up, shoulders back, and smile at people, they will subconsciously think you are a confident person and must have something worth all that confidence about yourself. If you were the first person to introduce yourself to someone new, not just stare at them and wait for them to make introductions, but shake their hand or give them a fist bump and welcome them to whatever it is that you both are doing there, they will just assume that you are either their equal or superior at whatever it is that you both are doing. Always make sure that whenever you go out that you look good, that you smell good. There is nothing cringe or wrong with wearing cologne everywhere you go and having pride in your appearance. There's nothing wrong with having your eyebrows threaded and a fresh haircut every 2 weeks and wearing actually decent clothes. You never know who you're going to bump into while grocery shopping or going out for a walk. You may not be confident right now, but you do not have to show that you aren't confident. Lord knows that I have had confidence issues in the past, but once I started covering that up and just pretending, it didn't matter how I felt. How I felt never affected how someone else treated me. I could be having the worst day of my life and no one would know. In fact, on days like that, most people think that I'm on top of the world since I don't allow myself to change from the confident man that I want to be and that I know I will be someday. It'll suck, but you have to admit to yourself that you need a full rehaul on how you carry yourself and what you look like. It's crazy what standing up straight, making eye contact, lifting, and basic hygiene can do for you. You may think you are just some worthless, ugly guy who deserves the way that the world treats him, but I want you to know that you are not. You are not worthless, and you do not deserve to be treated this way. No one but criminals who have committed the worst crimes imaginable do. You do not deserve to have people look down on you. You are not below anyone else. You are equal to every single other man in this world, and the day that you truly internalize that will be life-changing. You will change yourself slightly for the better every single day, until one day, you're going to be talking to someone new, and you will realize that you didn't have that thought today. The thought that, I am simply not good enough to be around you. You will realize that you no longer bend your will to the desires of people that you don't truly respect and love. You will finally have people see you for who you truly are and love you for it. And most importantly, you will finally truly love yourself and love your accomplishments. You will reach a point where you won't let people stomp all over you to reach their desires, and instead will be fighting to make your dreams a reality. This will all hit at once, and you'll want to cry and smile because you are finally experiencing the love that you desired all of your life, and you want to help uplift others who are in the position that you were in and do the same as you. Just know that you deserve love, and as long as you do the right thing, no one will be able to stop you from getting it.